In the headlines, Senate confirms 4 nominees as CBN directors as Southeast candidate turns down appointment. 11 million telecom subscribers risk disconnection due to SIM and NIN linkage failure. Naira rebounds at official market as dollar exchange losses about 6.4%. And on the foreign scene, Senegal government approves political amnesty legislation as tensions simmer ahead of presidential election. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us, and now the details. Now, the Senate on Thursday confirmed 4 out of 5 nominees as members of the Board of Directors of the Central Bank of Nigeria. At a sitting on Thursday, the upper chamber said the approval was in line with Section 6, subsection 1, 2D, and 10 of the Central Bank of Nigerian Act 2007. The confirmation follows the submission and consideration of a report by the chairman of the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and Other Financial Institutions, Adetokunbo Abiru, representing the Lagos East. Initially, the candidates billed to appear before the upper chamber were Robert Agbede Ado Yakubu Wanka, Murtala Sabo Sagagi Urum, Kalu Eke, and Muslimat Olanike Aliyu. However, the chairman of the committee in his report explained that the Southeast nominee, Urum Kalu Eke, did not attend the session. A member of the committee, Ojig Uzo Kalu, representing Abia North, explained that Urum Kalu Eke, who is a consultant with the World Bank and other international financial institutions, might not have ample time to function optimally in the new appointment, hence his absence at the screening. The House of Representatives has urged the federal government to improve on short-term food subsidies, provide assistance to farmers, especially those engaged in dry season farming, improve supply chain control to reduce wastage, and effect short-term price control. The resolutions were passed sequel to the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Chike Okafor, who frowned at the current state of food scarcity in the country. The report.
The call for the federal government to enhance short-term food subsidies, assist dry season farmers, and improve supply chain control is aimed at providing food assistance and support to individuals and communities in need. Raising the motion, the lawmaker said the current state of food scarcity in Nigeria poses a grave threat to the health and livelihoods of millions of people, adding that insufficient access to nutritious food not only leads to hunger and malnutrition, but also exacerbates existing health conditions and undermines the overall development of the nation. He expressed worries that peaceful protests are taking place in some states, with citizens groaning due to hunger and demanding immediate government intervention.
Cognizant that the government needs to increase the resources to support smallholder farmers and agrarian communities, ensuring that they have the necessary inputs, tools, and infrastructure to enhance food production through short-term subsidies as the government continues to strengthen the existing food distribution networks and mechanisms to ensure equitable access to essential food items across all.
Contributing to the motion, lawmakers expressed their reservations with the emerging food scarcity in the country.
If there is the need for any subsidy in this country, it is to subsidize these farm inputs and everything that has to do with farming. Let us put our energy there. We are hardworking people in Nigeria. We have been declared as one of the happiest people in the world because we can absorb hardness and keep moving, hardship and keep moving. I want to pray the governors prioritize. We urge you. We are not mandating you. We are urging you.
Both amounts were levied upon the multi-choice group by the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Concerned that there are ongoing arrangements to sell multi-choice Nigeria and other multi-choice group subsidiaries in Nigeria to a foreign interest, while tax indebtedness is outstanding.
5 years back, Mr. Speaker, a bag of fertilizer NPK 2010 was being sold at 5,000 to the off-takers. Then the off-takers had a margin of 500 cost of transportation, loading and unloading, being sold at 5,500. Today, Mr. Speaker, a bag of NPK 2010 is 38,000 naira.
In another development, the House of Representatives has cautioned the potential buyers of MultiChoice Nigeria, MultiChoice Africa, or any other subsidiaries of the MultiChoice Group operating in Nigeria to be aware of the alleged outstanding indebtedness which may have been covered in their papers. The resolution was passed equal to a motion moved by Saidu Abubakar, mandating the Committee on Finance to investigate the non-remittance of tax revenues by MultiChoice to the Federation, with focus on the suppression of information discovered from the submissions in their home country.
Should give particular attention in providing the necessary infrastructure to the farmplace, so that we, even after the lifespan of this government, you leave something that is sustainable for others to come and build on. So
the committee is expected to report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action.
The Nigerian Communications Commission has issued a directive to telecom service providers to bar subscribers who have failed to link their phone numbers to their national identification number on or before February 28, 2024. The Executive Vice Chairman of the Commission, Aminu Maida, who gave the directive through the Director of Public Affairs, the Ruben Moka, at the 45th Kaduna International Trade Fair on Wednesday, insisted that as a matter of critical national security, telecom consumers must link their NIN to their SIM cards. He insisted that the February 28th deadline given to telecom operators to bar subscribers who failed to link their NIN to SIM card stands. The NCC boss also disclosed that as of 2023, the telecoms industry's contribution to the nation's GDP stood at 13.5%.
The reason why it has to happen is it is in the interest of national security, our security, interest of even the consumers, that we need to get the identities of people who are using the phones, that their name has to be linked to their SIM, also for the same reason. So it is, and for a long time we have been on it, asking that this be done. It's almost 2 years. And for each time, people are not listening to go and link their name to their SIM. It doesn't mean when you are disconnected, it doesn't mean when you are bad, you can still go ahead to go to your service provider and get your name. And after they validate your name, they verify that your name is correct. And then they will know your customer details. They will check up your biometrics and identities, all the requirements, and they will give you your line back.
Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has urged the federal government not to merge the Army University in Biu with the Nigerian Defense Academy. Speaking during the distribution of 100,000 bags of food palliatives in Maiduguri and Jere local government, he emphasized that such a decision will align with the ideologies of Boko Haram, which opposes Western education. Governor Zulum highlighted that the establishment of the Army University in Biu provided educational opportunities for Borno and neighboring states, especially considering the prolonged conflict in the northeast region that deprived children and youths of education. Therefore, he stressed the importance of preserving the institution rather than scrapping it. Governor Zulum also advocated the enhancement of the National Center for Agricultural Mechanical in Ilorin, emphasizing its crucial role in fabricating agricultural tools necessary for food security. He underscored the significance of supporting institutions that contribute to agricultural development in the country.
If they don't want to create another university called Army University, we shall still appeal to the federal government to allow the Federal Ministry of Education to take over the Army University to become a conventional university. This is also something that we shall plead to the federal government. If it is possible, they should allow it as Army University. because of the importance of education in this part of the country. While Boko Haram is saying that education is forbidden. And I think by allowing this university to be, to be scrapped, I think they might have achieved one or two of their own objectives.
Residents of Makurdi in Benue State have been reacting to the President's directive for the full implementation of the Steve Orosanye report on the restructuring of government agencies and parastatals. While they applaud Mr. President for the bold step, they also said the number of appointees in the federal cabinet is worrisome and does not reflect current economic realities in Nigeria. Jimmy Adzande reports.
The 800-page document for restructuring the Federal Civil Service, popularly known as the Orosanye Report, was a brainchild of the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. According to Makurdi residents, implementation of the report is long overdue and commended the political will of President Bola Tinubu.
Yes, the move by the federal government to more or less reform the federal civil services in the right direction. And for most of us, we will say that it is something that is long overdue. And of course, it's better late than never. We believe that if we're implemented, of course, that will not just save cost, but will strengthen processes within the civil service and indeed reduce corruption to a large extent.
For Mr. President to see to it that the Orosanye report is implemented at this time, that things are very tough, I think it's a good development. The only reservation I have is that he too has appointed a very large cabinet. So is he going to start with his own cabinet?
And I think the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, taking the bold step to implement the Orosanye report, in my own opinion, is quite commendable, because the report goes down to cutting cost of governance and also increasing and making government to save more money for other projects and government expenditures.
They called on the state governors to emulate the president in this regard and save their state's resources through reduction in cost of governance.
There's a lot of lack of transparency at the state level across board. For instance, we don't know what is coming to most states and how monies that are coming to the states are being disbursed. We hope that the state government will take a cue from what the federal government is doing and be more transparent to the people, be accountable to the people, and also try as much as possible to minimize costs. You have a lot of governors flying here and there for occasions that are not very relevant at this difficult time.
The issue of cutting down costs of government have been on the front burner over time. So all arms of government should adopt this strategy so that we will make maximum use of the lean resources that we have.
Most of these agencies, the state government can actually fuse them under one agency, fuse them under one parastatal, cut costs and save more money and reduce the cost of governance across the state.
It is left to be seen if the president will make good his directive for the implementation of the Orosanye report, which was presented many years ago. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
The FCT administration, through its city management team, has conducted a demolition exercise targeting shanties at the Bureau de Change headquarters in Zone 4 area of Abuja. After clearing the shanties, which included makeshift shops and trees, Mukhtar Galadima, the leader of the team and director of the Department of Development Control, addressed journalists. Galadima explained that the shanties served as hideouts for suspected criminals in the city center, posing a threat to security. He emphasized that the area was rife with illegal activities that needed to be addressed promptly. Describing the area as an eyesore, Galadima stated that the demolition exercise was carried out based on directive to restore the aesthetic appeal of the place. He highlighted that BDC operators are expected to conduct their businesses from designated unlicensed areas rather than under trees and bushes as observed in Zone 4. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up, We'll take a look at the impact of scavenging on livelihoods and employment in Kano State. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. We brought you Senate confirms 4 nominees as CBN directors as Southeast candidate turns down appointment. 11 million telecom subscribers risk disconnection due to SIM and NIN linkage failure. Moving on to more stories. The governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has distributed food palliatives to over 100,000 vulnerable households of Maiduguri Metropolis and Jere local government. The distribution is to cushion the effects of hardship on the economic also the people of Borno State. Now, Trust TV's Beatrice Kuritsi has more.
This long line of tricycle riders at the Maiduguri Sports Center is to help transport food palliatives to families in Maiduguri Metropolis and Jere local government. These food items, which include maize, millet and rice, are the largest distribution exercise flagged off by the Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum to cushion the effects of the current economic hardship. Although he plans to hit 200,000 households before the Ramadan fast, the governor is, however, advising residents to engage in agricultural activities, saying the food palliative scheme may not be sustainable, while assuring that government will provide the needed support for agricultural production. The governor also commended the federal government and partners for the support it extended to the state.
As long as I'm the governor of Borno State, I will continue to provide the palliatives because it is necessary. But I want to advise the general public that the distribution of palliatives to the people is not sustainable. The quantum of money needed to provide this assistance is huge, and Borno State government cannot shoulder the responsibility of doing so. I'm also commending the federal government, but you have seen what we have started few months ago. We are investing in commercial agriculture, we are investing in irrigated agriculture. I'm calling upon all people of Metropolitan Council who don't have access to marketing and other means of their livelihood to engage in agricultural activities. Government will provide free buses, government will provide agricultural inputs for them and support them with some cash so that they shall go and cultivate their lands beginning from this rainy season.
Some of the beneficiaries thanked the governor for the gesture, which they said will assist them in no small measure.
Maryam Mohammed. Alhamdulillah, gaskiya muna fama da wahala, gaskiya ba abin da zamu ce sai dai mu ce mun gode wa Allah.
We thank Allah for his support because honestly, we are suffering due to what is happening in the country. But with this food, me and my family will be sustained for some time. May Allah bless the governor and his family.
Life now is very difficult because of the cost of food items, with a measure of rice selling for 1,600 naira. But with this 25 kg bag of rice, I am sure it will last for 2 months. We are very grateful. Beatrice Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Scavenging, once considered an informal trade primarily for the less privileged individuals, particularly in northern Nigeria, has undergone a significant transformation. Today, it has emerged as a lucrative business opportunity for youth across the region. In this special report, Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin delves into the impact of scavenging on livelihoods and employment in Kano State. Take a look.
Despite outward appearances, these young men are not mentally affected individuals. They are resilient scavengers navigating the harsh economic realities of Nigeria by engaging in these vital means of survival.
I have been scavenging right from childhood, and it is the only trade I knew. Believe me, over the years, scavenging has paid off, and we are surviving with it.
Scavenging demands minimal capital to begin, involving collectors who scour refuse for valuable items, buyers who purchase these refuse, and segments within the community that function both as collectors and recyclers. Over time, some individuals transition into recyclers, playing a vital role in the supply chain by providing raw materials to rubber and metal companies. Jamila Ahmad, a rubber recycler based in Kano, runs his operation from the Dakata small-scale industrial cluster. According to him, amidst the prevailing economic conditions, the recycling industry in Nigeria is fulfilling over 50% of the industrial demand for raw materials.
You see, by the nature of our business, it's small, but we are making significant contribution for the survival of rubber industries in Nigeria, because as at today, we do supply over 50% of rubber industrial raw materials, despite the disturbing challenges.
The sustainability of this industry faces significant challenges, such as inadequate capital, unreliable electricity supply, and scarcity of raw materials.
Unfortunately, we have lots of problems that need to be addressed. The issue of electricity, capital, and raw materials are major issues threatening the sustainability of our business.
Despite these obstacles, the sector has become a crucial source of employment for hundreds of youth, contributing to the upliftment of thousands from poverty. Both scavenging and small-scale rubber recycling are experiencing rapid growth. Financial institutions are stepping up to provide loans to recyclers, instilling hope of a brighter future within the industry. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
From the foreign scene, the Cabinet of Senegal has approved an amnesty law during its session on Wednesday evening. This decision follows the proposal made last Monday during the inauguration of a national dialogue spearheaded by President Macky Sall. The dialogue aimed to address the ongoing crisis in the country triggered by the postponement of the presidential election announced by the head of state. President Macky Sall, affirming his commitment to resolving the crisis, announced the adoption of the General Amnesty Law for incidents related to political protest dating back to 2021. The decision comes after a period marked by protests, resulting in numerous assaults, arrests, casualties, and extensive property damage. However, before the law can take effect, it must undergo approval by the National Assembly. No specified date for this legislative process has been announced yet. And despite its intent to foster reconciliation, the amnesty law has met with mixed reactions, facing opposition from both the opposition and the ruling coalition. In addition to the amnesty law, President Macky Sall disclosed that he will review the report from the National Dialogue during a scheduled audience on Monday, March 4th. Rescuer pulled more than 20 bodies from the sea of northern Senegal on Wednesday after a boat loaded with migrants heading to Europe sank along the St. Louis regional governor Aloin Badara Sam. That's him reporting. Badara Sam did not say how many passengers were aboard the vessel, but survivors told AFP that the number could have been in the hundreds. Mamadi Dianfo from Casamance, in the far south of the country, said there were about 300 passengers when the boat left Senegal a week ago. Another survivor, Alpha Bald, spoke of 200 passengers. Senegal's coasts are an increasingly common departure point for African migrants heading to the Spanish Canary Islands, their port of entry into Europe. Finally, in sport, Italy's anti-doping tribunal on Thursday handed a 4-year ban to France midfielder Paul Pogba after they tested positive for testosterone last year. Now, a spokesman for the club told AFP it had been notified of the decision against the 30-year-old World Cup winner. Football journalist Fabrizio Romana also confirmed this on his X account. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.